let's talk about top 5 videos. Hi everybody, that Tarantula guy here again today. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about top 5 videos. I see a lot of them quite often. Top 5 beginner teas, top 5 best new world teas, top 5 this, top 5 blah blah blah. My personal opinion is I don't agree with them at all. And I do have reasons. Firstly, it all comes down to what it is you want from the hobby. Do you want something that you can handle? Do you want something that's going to be defensive, something that's going to rear up and show its fangs all the time? Is it something colourful that you're looking for? Is it something like a pet rock? You know, there's lots of different things, because all tarantulas are different. They all have different personalities. Some are more aggressive / defensive. Some just sit around and really do nothing all day. Some of them look really pretty. Some of them are a bit boring. So that's what I want to get into today. But this guy, he is a mature male, as you can see. And see, he's very nervous. See? I mean, he will turn to face. And there you go. See, this isn't something that you want to hold, because although their venom, it's not that bad. It's probably about the same as a bee sting, maybe a little bit worse. It'll give you some swelling, some itching, maybe some cramp, but it's not going to hurt you. It's more a case of the actual bite itself. The hairs on the other end, if I can get them to turn around. All of these hairs on his abdomen here, these are called his urticating hairs. And old world teas do not have these urticating hairs. New world teas have urticating hairs on their abdomen, and that they will kick off in a defense. The hairs of this particular species, they affect me very, very badly. They cover me in a rash that itches for days. So yeah, this was my very first tea. As I said, it depends on what you want. I wanted something big, something that's gonna eat very well, you know, something that's gonna look impressive. And for most part, he does that. But I did my research about Tropepi, Nandu Tropepi, this species. I did my research before I bought him. So I was confident in knowing that I could look after him. And that's the key. It's not about being able to hold it or blah blah blah. It's more a case of knowing what you're doing when you get the tarantula. Because I mean, on the other side of the spectrum, in the next tank in here, this is another Nandu species, but this guy, he is mad. This thing is so quick, and he will immediately just threat post straight away, as you just saw then. You know, this, I wouldn't go with anything like this. Not for a first tee. See how he's climbing out now? I need to get him back down. No, down. There we go. You know, this isn't something that I would advise. But in the same breath, if you know what you're doing, feel free. It's more a case of knowing your species before you buy it. You know, they both come from the same species. They're both Nandu. Sandy here, this is Nandu Tropepi. And Henry here, this is a Nandu chromatus. So they both come from the same family. They're just different localities. So yeah, it's not a case of what you have. It's more a case of knowing your research and what you're comfortable looking after. So let's move on to some of the other teas that I've had since I started in this hobby. Okay guys, here you go. This is Betsy. Now this is my Brachypelma. She's very pretty. As you can see, she's quite happy just sitting there on my hand. She won't go anywhere. She's just chill. Now, this is what most people will say is a good starter tea. You know, she's pretty chill. She won't go anywhere. She just sit on my hand. You know, she's very pretty in colour. She eats really well. You know, she's got no real worries. So long as you're gentle, she's not going to go anywhere. Alright, so anybody who watches this channel knows who this is. This is Jeannie, my Acanthoscurria geniculata. Again, New World tea, so has all the urticating hairs back here, and she does kick them. She kicks them off a lot. Eats like an absolute monster, literally. Like, if you follow my Instagram, she eats everything. Like house spiders, moths, flies, crickets, hoppers, everything. She will eat everything. But the feeding response, this is mad. Watch. This is why you would not want to have this on you. Oh, maybe she's going to be chill today. There you go. You see her kick those hairs off? See that? That's a strike. That's a do not touch me. See? That's what I mean, guys. Most of the time, she's pretty chill. She will just sit there, pet rock, whatever. But you couldn't hold her. You wouldn't want to stick your hand in there with her at all, because she just attacks everything. It's that feeding response. She's not aggressive at all. She is not an aggressive tarantula. Like, look, see, now I'm touching her on her back. She just rubs those hairs off at me. Now, the hairs on these aren't so bad. Nowhere near as bad as Sandy's. But very pretty tarantula. And, you know, this is an okay tarantula to get for a beginner. It just depends on whether you're going to go picking it up or whatever. You know, if you're going to want to hold it and things like that, you're not going to want one of these. If you just want to get a tarantula that's going to sit on the shelf and it's something nice to look at and watch, Geniculata's fine starter tea. I understand that some people do want to hold them. I just don't see the point. I really don't. So this is why I say any tarantula is fine. See, she's not stressed, she's not worried, but if I go to pick her up, she will bite. It's as simple as that, you know. And these are really impressive. They will grow really big. They do grow really big. Okay, so here we have my Grammostola pulchripes. She is a confirmed female. Again, this tea will get massive. She will get huge. But they are like the Labrador of spiders. She's pretty dopey. You know, I've featured her a few times on my channel. She is very nice to look at. You can see she has the golden patch on her knees, which denote her common name, which is the Chaco golden knee. That's because of all of these golden spots on her knees, and she has yellowy pinkish hair all over her legs and her abdomen. Here we go, guys. As you can see, she's quite happy just climbing on me. She's just sat on my arm. You can see just there where she started laying web down, and she is just chill. And she won't go nowhere. She'll just sit on me like this. And there she is, back in her home. Alright, so this is another one of my dociles. This is Payden, my Phonopelma samani. Again, she's an absolute gem. Docile as anything. This is normally, if I'm going to hold any teas, it's normally this one. Anybody ever wants to hold any of my teas, it's always this one. She is absolutely lovely. Never kicks hairs, never gives threats. She just gets on with stuff. And she will just sit. Okay, so here we have another one of my more dociles. This is my Avik. This is Princess. As you can see, she's very pretty and very plump, because fingers crossed, I am hoping she will drop me a sack soon. So I don't want to bother her too much. I just want to demonstrate. But yeah, this is an arboreal. So she lives in trees. So you could start with something like this. With arboreals, these are pretty easy to look after. Anything avicularia or carabina, or easy to look after. And like you can see, she's quite happy. She will just sit. She doesn't go very far, but she is very, very pretty. You can see all of those little pinky hairs and all her little pink toes. So yeah, that is Princess Fuzzypegs. So let's get her back inside. Okay guys, so in here we have an old world tarantula. Now old world, as I said, is pretty much from the start of Africa all the way across to Australia and New Zealand. New world teas tend to be a lot more docile and a lot more tolerant of people, whereas old world teas, they are a lot more defensive and more prone to biting. Now in here is an OBT, which is one of the most infamous of old worlds because of their attitude. So let's see if I can give this girl a little tease, get her to come out and show her awesome colours. Okay guys, so there she is, and look at that. You know, she will not hesitate to bite. You know, beautiful colour, beautiful looking tarantula. But, you know, this is a very, very defensive tarantula. But she does not have urticating hairs to defend herself with. It seems she's starting to calm down a bit now. There you go. So yeah, this guys is Tango, my Tarantulus murinus, or commonly known as OBT, the orange baboon tarantula. Now she is probably one of most keepers. You know, this species is one of most tarantula keepers' favourites. Most tarantula keepers will have one of these. I happen to have two, because they just look amazing, and they come in lots of different colours. You can get brown ones, you can get black ones, you get red ones, you can get the orange ones. It's just a case of locality of where they come from Africa. But again, they're very, very easy to get hold of. Very easy to get hold of, and they're relatively cheap as well. Personally, I think they're quite good as a starter species, but like I keep saying, it depends on what you want. If you want a tarantula that you want to be able to hold, you don't want something like this, because this thing, all you have to do is just touch her and she's immediately defensive, you know. Now if you look, you can find crazy people online that hold theirs. Nah, just, you wouldn't want to. There you go. You can see for yourself just how defensive she actually is. You know, she is so good looking. You can see the colours all on her toes there, where the light reflects off. Just an amazing species. So much fun to watch, and they will web everywhere. But if you want something to hold, or, you know, you don't want something like this, guys. As you can see. Okay, here is another example of another good tea to get started in with. It ticks a lot of the boxes. It's pretty, it eats well, and look at what it does to its enclosure. You know, if you want something where you can have loads of web, like lots of thick, heavy web that looks impressive. This is a Chilobrachys species fimbriatus. The common name is the Indian violet earth tiger. But these are incredibly defensive, and they do have quite strong venom as well. I'll see if I can get this guy to react. These are incredibly quick. Incredibly quick. So it's good to have a catch cup on hand. There you go. Threat pose straight away. Now, this is a mature male. Mature males are always smaller. So as you can see, this guy's not particularly massive. But there you go. Threat pose straight away. Right. His fangs are out. As you can see, just there. There are his fangs. He is ready to bite. Ready to bite. Again, this is an old world species, so there's no urticating hairs. So his first line of defense is bite. So very pretty to look at. Very pretty to look at. See if I can get him to turn around here without running off. There we go. Very pretty tarantula. Very pretty indeed. As you can see, he's got that lovely coffee coloured carapace in the middle there, with that lovely stripy abdomen. Now, males and females of this species look exactly the same, just bigger. So female will look exactly like this, but much bigger. And as you can see, he has absolutely covered the enclosure in webbing. Nice thick heavy webbing. So if you've got something, or you want to get something that will eat well, look really impressive in your tank, this is a really good species to go with as well. Because they are impressive looking tarantulas, guys. Very impressive. So if you want something that's going to take down food and be quite aggressive with eating, again, this is a very good tea. Just not holding. It's not something you would want to hold. Now, I think that's where a lot of the other videos go wrong, when they think about 5 top teas or whatever, five beginner teas. There are no beginner teas. They are just tarantulas. All tarantulas will have a different personality. Okay, well, there you go, guys. There's a a bit of handling for you, bit of advice, I hope. But yeah, like I say, I wouldn't personally listen to the whole top 5 beginner tarantulas, blah. There are no beginner tarantulas. You begin being a tarantula keeper before you even get a tarantula. I started with a massive Brazilian bird eater, right? A big T. That's quite defensive, has really bad urticating hairs, is quite prone to biting, you know, very, very quick, very, very defensive. I knew what I was getting into before I bought it. I wanted to get a Brazilian blonde. I liked them. So I went and I looked it up, looked at what it took to keep it, look at what they ate, look at what humidity range they live in, where they live in the wild. Do all of these things first, get online, go and have a look. In my description below, a really, really, really helpful site. It's called Mike's Basic Tarantula. Now this guy, don't know him. I don't even know if he has a YouTube channel. I know nothing about him. But he has a really, really good website where it lists loads of different teas this guy has in his collection. And it's really, really specific about where they come from, what temperature range they live in, how quickly they grow, all sorts of information about so many different species. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of us YouTubers that keep tarantulas have or know of this site, and we use it a lot. I personally use this site a lot, especially when I'm getting into new species. It's just a case of do your research first. There you go. There's my little rant over and done with. So yeah, just go and have a look around, have a look at what you like, what you don't like. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to make something like this for a while, so yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it informative. This is more of an informative video rather than just feeding tarantulas or getting my snakes out or whatever. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, go and check out my Instagram. Post pictures of all my animals over on there. That's at that tarantula guy. Also, put a link down below. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.